success. And for that panel, I'll hand over to Diana Balitrand, who is CEO of Selective Brands. Please.
Success. The first thing I wanted to say when starting this session is what is the size of the market? I think most of you in this room know what the size of the market is. We're speaking roughly about 8% of the market, okay? This is generation data from 2012. I have not added the additional duty free because we know the market is bigger, and I have maintained this figure for our reference, okay? So we could have a debate about the data, but I just wanted to keep this figure in mind because it's quite a chunk of the business today. We're going to cover quite a series of topics this morning, and we're going to look at different aspects of in-flight retail, in-flight duty-free. We're going to look at catalog, we're going to look at how crew interacts, we're going to look at mobile connectivity, sharing emotions, experiences, all sorts of aspects. And we will also look at innovation. The idea is to help you to bring out more new ideas for in-flight duty-free. We're going to talk about brands, so we're going to cover quite a lot. The idea is not to cover everything, but to give you as much insight as possible. Now, the way this session is going to work is that I'm going to ask some questions after our three speakers, which I will introduce. But I would like the audience to be as interactive as possible. I would like you also to ask questions and to make it dynamic, okay? So start thinking of the questions now and as we go along, and there will be some time for interaction. So I would like to introduce our first speakers, our first three speakers. We will have Klaus Melling, who is Senior Executive at Braun, Jacob Harbour-Olsen, who is Travel Retail Manager at Dearborn Care, and Nadia Skuri, who is CEO of Buy in the Sky, and she is representing Duty Inflight. So I would like to give the floor to Klaus. Thank you.
Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Good morning. I'm very glad to be here in Singapore, and I'm also very glad that I'm on a session which is 50% female and 50% male, because this conference is very much male dominated when I look through all the presentation. So thank you very much, it's great to be here. I wanted to give you a little bit of insight of what we're doing at Braun. You know, Braun is not a typical duty-free company. We make a big number of products which we call now grooming products. So they fulfill a personal care service on male and female customers. Duty-free is very small. I think it's about 1% of total sales that we do. But I want to also tell you that this sometimes leads to discussions within management. But before we go there, I want to give you a little bit of background to Braun. We're based in Germany. We are very well known for design, modern, contemporary design, no frills. As Dieter Rams, who is was the head of Braun Design for many years, said, less is more. And that proved very successful. We're in Germany. We're in Kronberg, which is just north of Frankfurt. We're about 22 kilometers away from Frankfurt Airport, so it's very convenient. There you can see our head office, south of the Taunus Mountains. And on the way back, you can see the road going directly to Frankfurt. The company was founded in 1921 by Max Braun. And he was very well known before the war for creating radios. You know, as people develop technology, now we just heard Vimal saying how fast the iPod was appearing and disappearing. In those days it was similar, it just took a bit longer. In 1967, after Max Braun rebuilt the factory from scratch because it was destroyed during the war, he finally expanded in 1967 from Frankfurt to Kronberg, and in the same year his sons were selling the company to the Gillette Group. And in 2005, Procter & Gamble purchased Gillette, and we came out for nothing. That's what we like to say sometimes. At Braun, we think that duty-free is important. It's a shop window. We put a lot more emphasis in store displays nowadays. And of course also, airline business is very important to us. But it is a very challenging business for us. In order to produce an electro product has a much higher cost than some of the other products in relation to the selling price. So that's our everyday challenge. We want to put it in front of the customer. In airlines, we have a very confined space. We cannot sell everything that we do. We started about 30, 40 years ago when we had a small battery-operated shaver that suddenly was small enough that it could fit in a trolley. At the same time, I also have to say, unfortunately, it's the least profitable channel that we go to. You know all the challenges in duty-free retail. We know the challenges. We have to give the airlines the best prices. We have to pay listing fees, advertising charges, and so on. And at the end of the program, we have to take everything back that has not been sold because we know that the airline cannot sell it after the products go out of the catalog. So, yeah, it's the least profitable, and it's to the airlines and concessionaires with relatively little risk because they're not stuck with the stock. From our vast range of products, we have selected a few items that make sense for airlines, where we can put it into a small enough box that fits into the trolley and that has interesting benefits to the customers. You see a few things here. Lady grooming, the new Skin Scar product. We have a small little pink thing, which is what we call a bikini style. Funny product, but it takes off like hell. Cooltech shaver, ear and nose trimmer. We know there's mostly ladies buying the ear and nose trimmer for obvious reasons that we give to their men at home. Yeah, but it's true, and it's been very successful. The product has not changed in 8 or 9 years, and it's still selling well. I'm sometimes amazed. We also have, through our licensed partner Xeon, who are specialists in clocks and watches, we continue to have a range of clocks, and they even won very important design awards in the last couple of years. And we listed with them on various airlines, and they're doing very well. I think Peter Pullum is in the room here from Lufthansa. They were one of the first airlines to take it, and their partner airline Swiss, and it's doing very well. We also have wristwatches there, and this one that came in last, 2 weeks ago, that's the one here, 2 weeks ago won the German Design Prize, and we are quite proud about that. Packaging, size does matter, and you can see here, this is our normal size box for a product because it's designed to go on a shelf and make an impact to the ladies that go by and have a look at it. And they can see it's an epilator and it's an exfoliation brush. Now, of course, we would not get that box into an airline. So the airlines told us, make it small. So we tried to squeeze everything in that box, and it's 65% smaller. Mariangela is here from my team. Just hold up the box. That is the airline box. You can imagine what's the other one. Well, we have another product which is Cooltech, a real cool product. It cools down your skin as you shave, and that, there you see, Mariangela right on cool. But it shows you what the challenges we have in packaging, and to convince management to do that for a relatively small number of products. And we are very glad that the Braun management followed our advice and gave us the products so that we can sell it to you in the airlines. Another very successful product is the satin brush. When we first showed it to Linda from Lufthansa, she said, wonderful, I want to have it, but not in that box. Now with this one, it was more challenging because the product, we couldn't really make it very much smaller because we couldn't reduce the size of the product, but still we could save 30%. And then we also have some other items that are not classical. I talked about the Ear Nostrum. It does not even come in a standard box that you can list on or put in a trolley. So we said, well, if you, sorry, go back one. If we just put two together, they take the same space as just one. So, and then here you can see it on top. And of course, our classic product, which is the battery-driven shaver, for all those guys who go on a trip, are away for 2 weeks, and in the plane they realized, forgot the shaver at home. So at $35, it's a very good buy. But we also want to create and present the brand and present the Braun equity, the quality, the German design. So here is a few examples of some of the advertisements we've been doing on airlines like EVA Air or Korean Air or Asiana, etc. In some catalogs, they also ask us, just put us one page and we'll have 3 or 4 products. So there you could see a few examples. I don't know whether I kept my time of 5 minutes. Braun, designed to make a difference, and of course, if anyone wants to talk to us, we're here. Mariangela will still be here for the rest of the day. We will be going to Cambodia this afternoon. Thank you very much. Speaker. That's Jakob from Denmark, you know, our neighbors, just north of the border, and he has some fantastic jewelry to present.